Okay, so for this lesson, you may have some prior knowledge. I'm assuming you do have some prior knowledge, but even though I'm assuming that, I'm going to reteach it anyway. Okay, number one, what is a polygon? Okay, so a polygon is a two-dimensional enclosed figure with a minimum of 3 segments where the segments do not cross over one another. Okay, so a minimum of 3 segments which do not cross over one another. Okay, in other words, this is not a polygon. Okay, this is not a polygon because it's open, so it has to be closed. So there are 2 types of polygons. There is a convex polygon, and there's a concave polygon. So a concave polygon is a polygon with at least one angle measuring more than 180. So this angle is a reflexive angle. It measures more than 180. Okay, so a regular polygon. What exactly is a regular polygon? So a regular polygon, okay, is a polygon with all the sides being congruent and all the angles being congruent. Okay, 2 of the famous ones are the equilateral triangle and the square. All sides congruent and all angles congruent. Okay, so I'm going to make a little table here. Okay, copy this into your notes. We have the number of sides, okay, of the polygon. Then we have the name, the regular polygon name. These are regular polygons. Then you're going to have the number of degrees inside the polygon. This is going to come from the formula n minus 2 times 180. You don't have to memorize that formula. You could just memorize the degrees, but most people do memorize the formula. Okay, the number of degrees in one interior angle and the number of degrees in one exterior angle. Okay, this formula for the number of degrees in one exterior angle is 360 divided by n. Hold on, I don't like the way that n looks. 360 divided by n. There you go. That looks better. All right, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's going to be 9 polygon names that you have to have memorized. Okay, number of sides. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 12. So, of course, the regular polygon name for a three-sided is called an equilateral triangle. Four-sided regular polygon is called a square. Five-sided is called a regular pentagon. Six-sided regular polygon is called a regular hexagon. Seven-sided is a regular heptagon or septagon. Eight-sided is a regular octagon. That's your typical stop sign. Nine-sided is a regular nonagon. 10-sided is a regular decagon. And 12-sided is a regular dodecagon. Okay, so the number of degrees inside, n stands for the number of sides. So an equilateral triangle is just 3 minus 2 times 180, which makes sense because every triangle has 180 degrees, right? Okay, a square is 4 minus 2 times 180, okay, which is 360 degrees. A regular pentagon, 5 minus 2 times 180, 540 degrees. Okay, so you get the idea. 6 minus 2 times 180, 7 minus 2 times 180. And this is the number of triangles, unique triangles that you can make that don't cross over one another. So, like for instance, here is a pentagon. In case you're wondering where this formula comes from, here's a pentagon. This is not a regular pentagon. It's just a pentagon in general. You have 3 triangles that you could make, which is 5. So the number of degrees is 180 times 3, right? Where does the 3 come from? 5 minus 2. So it's always the number of sides minus 2. Don't know if anyone ever showed you that at any point in time or not, okay? So this is 720 degrees, 900 degrees, okay, 1080 degrees, 1260 degrees, 1440 degrees, and 1800 degrees. One interior angle, you would take the previous formula, n minus 2 times 180, and divide it by n. So I would take 180, I would divide it by 3. So 60 degrees, right? 90 degrees, 108 degrees, because I would divide 540 by 5. 720 divided by 6. 900 divided by 7, you get the idea. A septagon doesn't really come up on the regions. I've never seen it on the regions. Okay, 135, 140 degrees, 144, and 150 degrees. Because it's just not pretty. A septagon is not pretty. Look at the number. Not nice. Okay, the number of degrees in one exterior angle. So you would divide by n, okay? N is the number of sides, guys. So you would do 360 divided by n, so this is 120, and I have 90, 72, 60. Okay, ugly number. 45 degrees, 40 degrees, 36 degrees, and 30 degrees. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of Regents questions. The Regents questions tend to be on rotating around a regular polygon center. Let me just show you. Let me just get to it. Typical Regents question. When a regular, whatever, I'll do a pentagon here. When a regular pentagon is rotated clockwise around its center, the minimum number of degrees it must be rotated to carry on to itself. Is blank. So the regions will ask you, what is the minimum number of degrees it must be rotated to carry on to itself? So what you do is you just take 360, and a pentagon has 5 sides, and that would be your answer, 72 degrees. Let's take a look at one more question. Which degree measures will carry the regular pentagon onto itself? Okay, so you would just list multiples, all right, kids? So you would say 72, like I already got above. Then you would just list the next multiple. Next multiple. These are multiples of 72. Okay, every single polygon will carry on to itself after 360 degrees. Therefore, that will never be a choice, okay? But any one of those 4 could be put as choices. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be learning is constructions. We're going to learn how to construct a square inscribed in a circle. Okay, so you start off with a circle. You have the center of a circle. The first step is you make any diameter you want. It doesn't matter what diameter you make. Then you put your bullseye on one end of the diameter. You swing an arc that goes past the center. Keep the same radius setting, kids. Same radius setting. And put the center on the other end point of the diameter. Swing an arc again. Then you take the 2 points of intersection and you connect them up. That is making a perpendicular bisector. So the only thing I've actually done that involves the compass is making a perpendicular bisector. So an inscribed square, you make the perpendicular bisector of the diameter, of any diameter. Okay, but then you're not done. So this would only earn you 1 point on the regions. The second point would be earned by taking the intersection of this perpendicular bisector with your circumference and the endpoints of the diameter and connecting them up. Okay, you would have to use a straight edge. And that's how you construct an inscribed square. Okay, so in this construction, I'm going to show you how to construct an inscribed hexagon. And then the inscribed equilateral triangle will be the same construction. I will just be connecting different points. So you start with this, you have a circle, you have a center of a circle, and you're going to put your bullseye on the intersection of the radius with the circumference, and you're going to swing an arc that passes through the center of your circle. This shows that you measured the radius. Now go all the way to the side. Then you go to the intersection of this arc I just made. The intersection of this arc with the circumference. You put the bullseye on that intersection. Keep the same radius setting. Swing another arc that intersects this side of the circle, the circumference. Continue. All I'm doing here is I'm moving the bullseye to the second arc's intersection with the circle. And then I'm going to swing an arc again that passes through the center. And you continue to do this. So then you go to that intersection, the third intersection with the circumference. Put your bullseye. Swing an arc that passes from the center to that circumference. Go to the fourth intersection. Swing an arc that passes from the center to there. And then go to the last one, swing an arc, and this last arc should actually pass through the intersection of the radius with the circumference. So now you're going to go to each of these points of intersection. I'm just going to put a red dot at each one. There are 6 dots. When I connect these 6 dots up, making segments, and you should use a straight edge, okay? When I connect these up, I end up having a regular hexagon. Okay, I'm trying to set a good example here by using a straight edge, but the iPad sometimes moves while you're doing this. It's a little bit difficult, a little bit challenging. Okay, anyway. So this is an inscribed hexagon in red. So I'm going to color code it. Now for an inscribed equilateral triangle, it's the same exact construction, but you skip every other point. This is the easiest way to do it, so you don't have to memorize 2 constructions. You just memorize 1 construction, and for the equilateral triangle, just do every other point, and then you'll see in yellow here that I have constructed an inscribed equilateral triangle. All right, and that concludes this lesson. Thank you.